on this week's episode of Legends of Storm's Eye.
We have very pressing matters like, how did all these people die? And how do we get out of here? And where's Glenda and Makhanda? Those things are the most important things.
Then I should be able to use my mental powers to make my pants disappear.
It's over, Glenda.
What do you mean it's over?
If I do this...
Well, don't do that!
Don't do that.
Welcome to Zarnia for Games and Geekery. This is Legends of Storm's Eye, our actual play D&D show. In our previous episode, the companions traveled through a portal into the Unbreakable Armory. But instead of finding the armory, they found twisted versions of their memories. Escaping these, they entered the true armory, empty except for the morbid decoration of decapitated goblin heads hanging from the ceiling. Ignoring this dire warning, they began to explore, eventually finding the forge, which was littered with bodies. Stepping in to investigate, they woke guardians and were attacked. After a desperate fight, they managed to shut down the forge and its protectors, and they discovered a magical hammer, labeled Soul Taker. But they didn't find their companions, Makhanda or Glenda. And with that, let's catch up with Glenda. Glenda, moments ago, your companions dived down vertically into the portal, swirling as you held it open using your needle, glowing with the power around you. Still traces of dark Sochin blood in the currents of the water. Above you, you see the disappearing cage. Obviously, it has breached the top. The dark shadow of the ship above you. You take a breath and dive into the vortex. You feel stretched, thin, and then compressed, whoosh, like an amazing session of Pilates. And then blackness. The thickness of the water that you'd been feeling for the last couple of hours is completely gone. You feel like you're in empty space. You feel dry. You feel a bit drunk. You've had a couple of glasses of sherry, in fact. A few too many glasses of sherry, but what could you do? Your husband has been stomping around, sulking all day, and you just know he's been up to something. What's his name?
Damianth.
Damianth then walks into your shared bedroom, and he said, "It's over. It's over, Glenda. I'm leaving. Glenda, it's not working anymore. I'm sorry." And he goes and turns and he starts packing his clothes into a big old sack that he's just pumping it all into.
What do you mean it's over?
Glenda, you've changed.
I have not changed. Do not age shame me.
Glenda, I'm not age shaming you. It's just, I met you in your prime of your life, and I was in the prime of my life, and I'm still in the prime of my life, and I have needs, Glenda. I have needs.
I also have needs. Just because I'm seemingly becoming decrepit before our very eyes very, very quickly does not mean I won't give you the best ride of your life.
Glenda, you're fragile. You're fragile and damn it, you don't have a beard.
I knew you'd bring that up.
Now, Sherilyn and I have gotten very close. And
The mine receptionist?
the mine receptionist, her name is Sherilyn, and she's been good to me, all right? And we have not done anything. I have not been unfaithful to you, but I need to look after me. I need to look after my happiness.
And happiness to you is Sherilyn's meter-long red beard.
Oh, please don't bring it up. It's getting me all confused.
You are disgusting.
I'm just a dwarf with needs.
I too am a dwarf with needs, and I do not need this.
And he shoves the last of his like, well, all you need is that bottle of sherry. And he turns and stomps towards the door, and you can see the bottle of sherry kind of sparkling. It's half empty already. What are you gonna do?
I pick up that bottle of sherry, and I lift my arm to throw it at him, and as I can't. I cradle it and take a sip.
You're pathetic. I should have left a long time ago.
Maybe if you were a better man, I wouldn't need this bottle of sherry to be my actual loving companion.
And you see like something more cruel, something that you've never seen in your husband before, like a little bit of like cruelty come out of him that just seems like a little unlike him. And he's like, that bottle's the only thing that's ever gonna love you. And you know, the previous parts were part of your memory of this, but this, you remember him leaving, not staying to taunt you, as he says, get drunk. That's all you're good for. Just sit here and wallow getting drunk.
Damien, who are you?
Roll a wisdom save.
$11.
11. All right. Me, I'm the fool who spent too much time with you. And he starts yelling at you and berating you. And then suddenly, he punches you in the face. With a natural 20. And you take 7 damage.
The fucking dwarf fist.
And you know, he has never done this. He was always a sweet husband. If a little bit,
Boring.
you know, but never violent, never cruel. And he says, all right, have some more of it. And he winds up to punch you again. Roll your initiative.
4.
All right, so he's going to get that first punch, and he follows through with it. 1 attack and a second attack. 1 misses, the other one hits, and you take another 5 damage. All right, your turn.
My turn. Okay, I am going to pull out my one knitting needle from my hair and stab the motherfucker.
Boom, do it.
1.
1 is not hit. You're just too emotional.
Yeah, I wasn't really in it, and like, cause then I'm full on stabbing. Okay, but then I am also going to flurry of blows him. With a, what do I add for flurry of blows? Where's the instruction sheet? I'm sorry. Doesn't say.
It'll be your unarmed strike at the top of your
Oh,
attacks
yes,
list.
okay.
So it'll be that, and that won't
Okay,
have gone at that one.
10.
10 does not hit.
Yeah.
He just slaps your elbow aside and says, you've got sloppy technique. My turn. And he's, do you want to, that was your bonus action?
Yes.
Okay.
But does my flurry of blows now come with disengage?
It does.
So I'm going to disengage.
Okay, disengage. Do you want to try run?
Guess, yeah. I'll try and leave the room. How big is my room to run away from?
You can dash past him out the well, you can't dash. You can run past him out the door and into like the hallway of your home.
Okay, I'm going to try to do that.
Boom! You slam through the door, skid, and this is not the hallway of your home. This is some kind of stone space. It feels old, it feels dark, and it feels very, very closed in. Do you want to go right or left?
I want to go right.
All right, you can get about 10 foot. And then immediately behind you, you hear your husband's, not his heavy footfalls, but light, fast. And you turn just as he's there to make his attacks. And you are on it this time. You are like getting your feet again, and you feel the sherry moving through it as you duck, twist out the way as he's going. Oh, you're slippery now. All right. Are you going to attack?
I am going to attack. With my quarterstaff that I happen to have with me.
Brilliant.
Eight.
8 does not hit. No. Use the orange dice,
Yeah.
maybe. Retire that purple dice.
Do I get another chance?
You get to use your bonus action to use an elbow or an unarmed strike.
Okay, I'm going to use an elbow.
Or to make a flurry of blows again, which is another 2 attacks, right? Yeah.
It's another 2 attacks. I didn't do 2 attacks last time, did I?
Oh, no. So we'll cancel using the key point for that. And,
Okay, I'll use it now. That was
use it, yeah.
Okay, previously was an elbow. This time I'm going to flurry of blows my husband. Yay! With an 18.
18 hits.
Yay!
Roll your damage.
Fuck these purple dice. Come here, orange. Okay. 6.
6 damage. Cool.
And I go again.
Yeah.
For my papa! Meh. 7.
7 does not hit. It does that classic move. You like whoosh, elbow right in the nose. He like stumbles, like there's blood coming out, and he's like, oh.
And I'm disengaging.
Oh yeah, you get your free disengage. And he looks at the blood. I know you're going to try to run, or you're going to try to face him.
Well, he seems really bloody fast now. I think he'll catch up to me. I mean, I'm gonna, for one more turn, I'm just gonna stay and fight and see if I can maybe do some more damage, and then I will try and run away.
So he clenches his fists, drops down into this fighting stance. He's like,
Who the fuck is this? Who are you?
who trained you?
Who trained you?
All right, and with a 15, does 15 hit you?
No.
All right, the other one definitely does hit you, though, with a 21, and you take 5 damage.
Oh my god. Damien, you're hurting me! Wow. Man, okay, I'm going to quarterstaff. 17.
Okay, yep, 17 hits.
5.
5 damage, great.
And if I run away, that's a bonus action, right? So I can't do like a free elbow as a bonus action.
Yeah.
I have to. I think I might run away with my was it Step of the Wind that gets me hella far away?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna Step of the Wind away from him.
Cool. So you get a dash, doubling your distance.
Yeah.
And you just flat out sprint.
Yes.
And behind you, you hear keeping up with you. And this is going to turn into a bit of a chase. All right. So the hallway kind of opens up into a chasm in front of you. But there are these pillars sticking out of the darkness with flat tops that you can see. You can, if you want, try and leap from pillar to pillar to pillar to get to the other side of the chasm where you see an open space.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
All right, roll your acrobatics.
12.
12. All right, you leap, make it to the first one. Jump off to the second one. And your foot just slips. And you catch on the edge, hanging over there. And behind you, you hear. And you look up and you see the feet.
Scar.
But it's not the feet of your husband. You look up and you see this monk, tough, hardened face, looking down at you. And she says,
Daddy.
What? Over to Makhanda who, by the way, subscribes to our channel, as you should. Okay, Makhanda.
Okay. Here we are.
Makhanda, seconds ago you jumped into the portal that Glenda was holding open for you. From the thickness of the water, suddenly you are stretched out, compressed, twisted, and you find yourself in darkness. Complete darkness, the water gone, and you feel dry. Very dry, in fact. There's almost a sort of mustiness in the air as the world starts to take shape around you. And you find you are in a lecture hall, and rows and rows of learned peers. There are professors whose books you've studied. There are other people from academies, who have been learned, your idols, your mentors, your fellow pupils in this beautiful academy of learning, and everyone is staring at you, and you have the little lectern in front of you. And on the lectern you see your notes and theories about the presentation you are about to give. Everyone is staring. What do you do?
I'm going to flip through the book and see if I can find, sorry, 1 second, information. Professor Wernstrom, so good to see you in the audience. Do I see anything in the book that I can use information?
Your glasses must be foggy or something, because everything is smudgy. Everything is blurry. All the words are just kind of fuzzy.
Nothing in the book. Perhaps I can speak to one of the lecturers. Yes, Professor Wernstrom. What brings you to this lecture hall?
Makhanda, what sort of nonsense is this? We've come for your presentation, obviously. This is your final dissertation.
Yes, of course.
You must defend your research in front of all the peers. How can you have forgotten this? Please, continue, or we will go about our days and forget about this silliness.
I shall, Professor Wernstrom. I'd hate to offend a room of all my peers. One question, though. May I touch your face, Professor Wernstrom?
No, of course you can't touch my face.
I try anyway to touch his face.
All right, you lunge forward and you touch his
Yes,
face.
yes.
Also, when you do that, you look and your hand is young.
My hand is young.
And you remember, and this is all coming back to you. This was very back at the first, the Monastery of Knowledge, where you first began studying and you had access to the libraries before you went and lived your quiet life on a small island when you had ambition.
Okay. This appears to be a dream of some sort.
A dream? Can you defend your dissertation, or can you not?
Of course I can defend my dissertation, and I can prove this is a dream, I hope. If this is a dream, then I should be able to use my mental powers to make my pants disappear.
What pants? And you look down and you're not wearing any. And people at the back start like, this guy, he's laughing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I know. How did he even get in here? He's just such a moron.
What is that at the back there? Moron? I am no moron, I am a scholar. Oh, I see what this is. A room of
Scholar with your dick out!
Oh, I see what this is. A nightmare.
And everyone starts laughing. Roll your wisdom save.
Which is 2D.
One.
1D20. 15.
15 plus what?
Wisdom. There we go. 5.
Great.
Which has gone up actually. 5.
All right, so that gives you 20 as your save. And this laughter kind of like rolls on you, but you shrug it off. You know that this isn't real. And as you look around the room, you see one person is not laughing and is just looking at you, arms folded, as everyone else kind of laughs and pause. Meanwhile, with our companions, hit that like and subscribe button right now. Yeah, now.
Do it.
Now. Any moment? Now? Okay, good.
What else?
Good, we're done. No, we don't
Thank
try
you.
to threaten anyone. We try to coerce people. We just try to get them to do what we want through the power of joy, play, and by rolling persuasion. Yeah.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
No way. That's an actual natural 20.
I actually
No,
got
all our
one.
lies now have like diminished his natural 20. Okay. Anyway. So, in our last episode, 4 of our heroes were separated from Glenda and Makhanda.
Very stressful.
Legacy, Jack, Thrastock, and Iggy found themselves in visions of their past that had been twisted into strange traps of the mind. But they managed to find their way out with a little bit of help from Miko, strangely. And they found themselves inside the Unbreakable Armory. A little bit of investigation revealed a very gory sight. Hundreds of severed goblin heads hanging as an ominous warning in the hall. Looking further, they managed to find their way to the forge at the heart of the Unbreakable Armory. But as soon as they stepped in, armor, weapons, chains became animated and attacked them. They were able to, with a little bit of wild shaping, manage to sneak through some of it, and a little bit of dashing, a little bit of daring, a little bit roguishness. Iggy and Jack managed to make it to the forge. Jack managed to shut it down, and Iggy managed to recover the Soul Taker, a hammer clasped in the dead body of Kona, thrice bearded. They defeated the remaining animated objects, and that's where we ended our session. On a cliffhanger, our heroes battered, bruised, and very confused.
What did I just do? I think the hammer did that. The hammer did that.
How?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't do it again,
No.
because we can't have those things reanimate.
No,
Yeah,
we
that would
definitely
be
can't have them
extremely
reanimated.
bad. If that happens, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
What
Turning back
happened-
into a snake.
What happened to the hanging thing? Did he
No,
disappear?
its feet are still moving
going.
around. It's still alive.
Oh.
But when you held it up, everything glowed.
Don't
Don't hold it up!
The chains, the de-animated things, and the swinging the rope, they all spark for a moment and fade.
Okay. Like out of existence.
No, just a glow fades on them. Lights up and fades.
It's at times like this that I miss Makhanda. He would have been really useful at this exact moment in time.
Yeah.
But perhaps we don't do anything with the hammer and
Okay.
carefully search this room to find anything of use. And who needs healing?
Yeah, me, I do. Really badly. But I've got some balm of the summer court. Can I rub it on myself?
Yeah, you can.
I use lay on hands to heal you for 10.
Nice.
Iggy like climbs down from the gantry with the hammer and is like, oh, okay. If I raise it too high, it makes everything go shiny.
Cool. Just take a moment. So, Jack.
Yep.
When you reach into that well of healing energy that you found at the center of yourself, for a moment you feel like Miko is nearby.
Okay.
And you hear and you feel this resonant connection that you haven't felt since you were a child. You know, you really are tapping into something connected to your upbringing in the Moonshade tree.
Okay. Whoa. I'm gonna just call out for Miko in like cat, I guess. Miko? Miko, are you here?
No response.
Miko is not here.
No,
Did you get hit in the head?
Shush.
She did.
She did get hit
Yeah,
in the
that
head.
machine
Guys,
went.
No.
We need to make sure that she's not concussed, guys. I think that's...
I'm having a moment here. I'm feeling very connected to something, and I was just trying to tap into it before I was very rudely interrupted by you.
A moment of what?
I feel very connected to my past, and I feel like Miko's here. There's something maybe magical about this place that feels like it's in my history or something. I know that sounds quite weird. It's making me feel weird, but when I went in to try and heal myself, I felt different.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. Insight. 15 plus 4.
Okay, so 19.
19.
It's not so much this place, but as you are using more of your magical abilities and they're becoming stronger, you feel the connection to your home grow stronger.
And a different relationship with Miko as well.
Yes.
Okay. I think.
That somehow Miko is part of that connection to your home.
Okay. I think it's. I'm doing things that I've never done before. You guys saw me. It was a snake. I've never
What a
done
snake?
that. That was so weird.
There was a lot of snaking.
Yeah. I don't really understand what's going on with me, to be honest. And ever since I met all of you, I'm just very confused.
Isn't this a normal druid thing?
What do you mean a druid thing?
Aren't you? I mean, you folk, you turn to snakes all the time, right?
You're obviously a druid.
I mean, I don't know. I've just lived on, you know.
That must be tough. I mean, I've always known, I've been a paladin. I've been in training as a paladin. This is what we do. So, we know what we do as paladins. We smite evil and we cure the good. But it must be difficult not knowing where you're going or what your abilities are. Maybe you should find other naturey people and talk to them.
You should read some comic books. There's a character called Flycap, and he's a myconid, he's a mushroom person, but he's a druid and he's got the same powers as you have. You can
James,
turn into
I don't-
animals, you can
What?
make a forn work.
No,
I think
legacy
this is
just-
helpful. This
that
not
is
helpful
helpful.
Right now, we need to figure out what's going on in this room and how do we get out of here.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
As great as your history is, as important it is to you, we have very pressing matters like how did all these people die? And how do we get out of here? And where's Glenda and Makhanda? Those things are the most important things. Yes,
you.
I know I'm being an asshole right now. I get it.
Yeah.
But I
You are.
almost
You are.
died, and so did all of us from chains and swords that were flying through the air. Maybe we can deal with that first.
Legacy, you know, you and I have been through a lot, but recently, you just...
I'm making a lot of sense. Yeah, you're right.
No. You're just being a jerk all the time. And you're
Okay.
just being defensive all the time.
Do you not want to get out of here? Do you want to get out of here?
Well, I don't want to get out of here without Makhanda and Glenda.
Okay, well then let's look for them. Do you have any idea what's going on with the hammer?
Oh, if I do this.
Well, don't do that.
don't do
sorry,
that,
sorry.
don't do
But I'm
that,
just
don't do
saying,
that.
Maybe we should find out what's going on with that first before we work into your history.
Laddie, before we get too excited with the hammer, what does it say, by the way?
It says, and I hand it over to you. Soul Taker.
Soul Taker. Wonder what would happen if we bashed one of the... Anyway, let's toss
Do
the
you-
room thoroughly and look at all the runes. See, maybe this chap's
Okay.
left a manual. He looks like the kind of chap who had everything documented,
Definitely.
well labelled.
Yeah.
Notice everything in this entire place has been labelled. When you run a good workshop, you put labels and things, yeah? And you
Yeah,
clean up
there's
after
lots of-
yourself. I'm
look-
sure your dad told you that.
Very much so.
yeah,
Every
so
day.
Let's give this place a good search, work out what's going on in here.
All right,
That's literally what I
everyone,
said.
everyone roll investigation.
Okay. Do dwarves get bonuses?
Do
dwarves get bonuses?
Dwarves do get bonuses.
Hey!
Investigation.
So what,
Wait.
advantage? Or
Yeah,
just-
you get
Oh, wow.
advantage.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I was only 10.
Okay, that works.
10.
10.
But I'm mad right now.
Jack, roll with medicine.
Medicine.
I got 15.
Oh,
22
4. I mean,
for Iggy.
4 plus 5, 9.
Okay.
For investigation, 20.
20. Ooh. Thrastock, what did you
Good,
get?
but not as
I
good
got
as Iggy.
15.
Well, I would never
Also dropped a dice.
dream of trying to be as good as Iggy.
Dropped a die.
You dropped the die. Oh no.
Oh no. What did you
Luckily, I have
22.
many more.
22. 22. Okay. Jack, looking around, you're kind of struck mostly by the violence that has happened in this place. And you are kind of focused on that. You see that monks and goblins are kind of locked in battle. Like, you know, you'll see a monk who like slammed up against the wall, multiple wounds, but you know, a goblin heart clutched in one hand and a broken goblin neck in the other one.
Oh my gosh, okay.
You know, people died fighting here in a large battle. You know, there are burns, there are fractures, there's magic as well that has scarred this place.
Okay.
Thrastock, you look through the armor, and one of the things is that you notice is that the animated armor that you broke apart is dwarvish sized and looks like pretty good quality plate armor. So, yeah. You also managed to find a +1 longsword.
Ooh. Few dings in this armor, but they'll buff out. And this is a pretty good longsword. Anyone want to use it?
I think that's gonna work best for you.
I suppose. I mean, I do like the greatsword, but let's give this one a bash, eh?
Can we
Or
just make
slash,
sure
haha.
that none of that is... Maybe just hold the hammer very slowly up just to make sure none of that glows.
Well, this is the armor we just bashed, so...
Okay, I slowly start to raise the hammer.
Yeah, and it glows.
Oh,
What glows, the sword or the hammer?
Oh, there's
The sword and the armor.
Oh no. So one of the de-animated swords. So it is one of the de-animated swords that is the +1 longsword. And the other one also glows. Like
maybe just...
no. Sorry. Strike that. That was just a regular sword that you found lying that had been used by a monk or something, but was still in very good nick.
Okay.
Strong and sturdy.
So the +1 does not glow, but the armor does glow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the armor is the de-animated armor.
Maybe just
All right.
keep an eye out before you put that on your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't put it on just yet. I'll bundle it up.
Okay, Legacy, as you kind of like stomping around and a little bit like...
No one listens to me in this place.
Because you're a jerk.
Yeah, I'm a jerk who's right. That's the difference.
Saying exactly what a jerk would say.
Well, yeah, I'm a correct jerk. I'm the correct jerk. He says...
All right.
Sorry.
You find a +1 crossbow.
Sweet. Ooh.
A little hand crossbow +1.
Great, another thing for you to just not fire at anything.
I hope my healing's making me feel very chatty.
All right. You find another sword that looks pretty good, and you can feel it's got a bit of magical resonance to it, but you don't know what it is. But it is a light longsword. Yeah, a longsword.
We don't
With
see
magical
any,
resonance.
We don't see any
Yeah.
books. We don't see anything with like a
Okay, no.
record-keeping.
So that was just items. Now, as you guys begin to, the two of you begin to investigate the forge, the four of you gather there. You have a look. You can see that Kona looked like he was grievously wounded. His body, just like all the others, not a trace of rot or decay at all. You know, as if the wound had bled and then stopped. The forge itself, once you wipe off the dust, there's the general kind of bellows. It looks like it takes conventional fuel, but then also draws some other kind of magic through the ruins. What do you remember about the forge from Makhanda's investigations?
Ooh,
I think.
I
My
didn't really
character
listen much
cannot
to
remember
what
very
I
much because he
have
isn't
to
very
say.
clever and he doesn't listen a lot. It's all just sounds
Alright.
like book stuff.
So, yeah, you can't quite remember what it was about the forge that was significant. You really wish you had Makhanda because he was paying attention.
Ooh.
This was Makhanda's jam. Just
Yeah.
Kind of, you know.
But this doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's partially a functional forge used to make conventional things. It's workmanlike, but it also looks like it draws magical energy and focuses them somehow. Yeah.
I want to investigate what's on the body of Krona the Thrice-Bearded. Maybe does he have any manuals or manuscripts on him, and maybe how he died?
Okay, so how Kona died, it looks pretty obvious that he was very, very mortally wounded.
But like what? By bludgeoning? By that thing? Or
No, like it looks like he had burns, electricity. It looked like there was a big magical battle that took place here.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. As you look at his body, go through his body, you can find. You don't find a lot of significant. You don't find any instructions, any manuals or letters or anything like that. You do find a ring with a 5-sided shape on it.
Maybe. It's interesting.
And that also has a little magical resonance, but that's about it.
Is that shape anywhere else like a symbol in this armory?
No.
You're a bard, right?
Yeah.
Do you know any stories or songs about magical forges?
I don't really know anything about. Nothing comes to mind. I mean, I haven't really tapped into that bardicness of my history. I've left my family past behind me, but I'm trying to. Is there anything else that I could look at? Is there?
Do you have Identify?
I don't have Identify. No, I do have Identify. I do, of course, right there. I have Identify. So can I cast?
You can cast that as a ritual, yeah.
Yeah. So what I
Yeah,
need-
take. You take the sword. No, the ring. The sword.
Give
No,
me-
the ring.
The ring.
The ring. Okay, go.
Okay, so I take it and I cast Identify on.
Okay, so you take 10 minutes, a little bit of chanting, a little bit of
Yeah.
like twanging on, like blowing on your
I've blown-
flute and your
yeah,
harmonica,
exactly.
just to get the resonances right.
Yeah.
And you feel, first with the sword, you kind of see visions of a warrior taking up the sword fresh from the forge. It's still glowing red, and him swearing an oath as he draws it across his palm. And you know that this is a sword of vengeance.
Oh no.
The ring wasn't. Oh, did you do the sword? Not
The
the
sword or the ring?
I was aiming for the ring,
Oh, well, that was the sword.
but that was the sword.
Anyway,
Can I do it again for the ring?
you can do it again for the ring.
Yeah.
And you see Kona himself at the forge, hammering it together, and imbuing with protective magic. And this is a ring that will give you +1 AC.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
helpful for the weaklings.
Okay, so I don't know how this applies right now or how we can use it, but that ring
Yeah.
has defensive capabilities. It's going to give you more defense.
Lekker.
Okay, so I'm not sure who. I think I should keep that since I'm the weaker.
I think you should.
You probably should.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's unfortunate that we are rewarding you, but there we are.
Rewarding me.
Put it
I'd
on.
stay focused on the track,
Sorry.
thank you.
What does the
Sorry.
sword do? The sword do? What does the sword do? What does the sword do?
Okay.
What does this?
Okay, here's
What does the sword do?
the problem with the sword. The sword was made here, and a warrior took that sword and has sworn an oath of vengeance on it. It's a sword of vengeance.
I'm a paladin of vengeance.
What?
Oh,
I'm a paladin of vengeance. I've sworn to avenge evil.
That's
Well,
lekker.
I think then
you should take it.
you should take the sword of vengeance.
What does it do? What does it do? What does it do?
Okay, let me just give you the instruction quickly. Again, +1. Okay, you can also tell that there's like a curse to the sword.
Oh, by the way, the sword-
Orkies.
it's there's this vengeance thing, but it's also cursed.
That's very awkward.
So it is a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. Okay. But as you were having this identify, you start to hear the ramblings of this warrior as he swore his oath of vengeance, and he said, "I must kill them. I must kill them all to protect the forge. I have to. Every one of them."
It's
It's goblins.
goblins.
Yeah, so I think that sword was involved with kind of all the death and destruction we're seeing here. I think that sword did it. Or the person holding the sword did it.
Because they have to kill all the goblins.
To protect
What's wrong with that?
To protect the forge.
Oh, I mean, it's probably a overwhelming task that will
Drive you mad.
The
drive you
long
mad.
war will continue.
And look, I heard something while I was trying to work out what the sword's all about. the person who wielded that sword sounded kind of mad to me. So I'm not sure if the sword will push you in that direction.
Let me hang on to it and we'll see whether it comes in useful later. I'll quietly put it away.
Okay, but be careful with curses. In Kramix, they never end well.
You yourself seem to smite everything that's cursed. So
Yeah.
maybe just think about that before you take something that's cursed.
I will pray on this.
Okay.
You look awfully smug.
Guys, is there something really weird about the fact that all these bodies are covered in dust, seem old, but haven't decayed at all?
Yeah, it's very odd.
Well, now you mention it, that is very weird.
It just seems like there's something, and also we were attacked by a lot of inanimate, like, stuff.
What did I find on Kona?
You found the ring.
The ring, just the ring.
So,
And the nature, like, hear me out here.
Didn't help Kona
Yeah.
very much, did it?
If he's been injured, and these guys aren't rotting, perhaps we can try healing him, and he can come back to us. I mean, looks like he hasn't, whatever moment he's stuck in hasn't progressed, just like everybody else.
We could try.
Yes?
I don't know what the views a Paladin of Asta would take on bringing people back from the dead.
No one
Which
says he's...
sound like what he's suggesting.
I don't know how
Can
we
I
could
invent some theology on the fly here?
Yep.
When someone has passed beyond the bournes of this realm, they must stay there.
But remember, time is weird. Remember when you blew up and you were passed out in... Maybe it's like that. When the fire imps got you and they blew up and you were down and out.
I was unconscious. This
Yeah, but
chap
you were...
is...
but
Nah,
he could be
probably his head.
unconscious for many years.
Iggy makes a point there.
Conscious people who can come back usually have smaller holes in their heads.
Is the injury like he's definitely dead? Or is it like a big knock to the head?
The injury looks like it would be life-threatening. It definitely doesn't look like he would be instantaneously dead, though.
Because healing is not bringing back the life.
That's
So if
true.
he's frozen in an unconscious eternal state,
Can I do detect magic?
Yeah.
Okay.
detect it. The
Detect
magic.
Okay, I'm gonna detect.
Okay, you detect magic.
Finally, do something
The
useful.
hammer glows, the forge glows, the armor glows, all the animated things still glow.
The people? I mean, the goblins and the
bodies.
the bodies?
No, but you can also sense that this whole place is, this whole pocket dimension that this place exists in is magical.
Okay.
Well, I think we knew that.
Yeah, there's magic everywhere.
I've got an idea. Pass me that hammer.
There you go.
The chains were easiest to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Grab a chain. Go over to the forge.
What are you doing?
You bring the hammer down. The chain flashes, glows along its entire length, and then the light into the hammer.
What?
You've taken its soul.
Then I raise the hammer up. Does the chain glow?
The chain does not, only the others glow.
Okay, I go around and start hitting things with it.
Each one, as you like go back, the hammer becomes like more and more filled with power and energy. You can feel it kind of humming in your hands.
I turn and look at the wriggling robot. So,
Do it.
Do it.
Do
it's a
it.
bit high.
Oh, okay. Iggy runs up to the gantry and starts to lower very slowly the robot.
You find like it's not like a good hit. You have to like wait for it to be a little bit lower, and then you can get a good firm smack on it, and it powers down, deanimates, and swings quietly. The hammer buzzes, potent with energy.
Well, not really much one for hammers. Do you want to keep this?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That seems quite dangerous.
It's a dwarven hammer.
Yeah.
But if you hit a person with that,
Don't
We
do
can
it.
find
I'm
out.
not doing it.
But what if
Well,
you
next
hit
time
a-
someone comes at us, we'll find out.
Yeah. Maybe it's full.
What if you hit the body with it, or touch it to the body?
maybe hit one of.
Now that it's full of energy, now that you've sucked all that soul.
Do you think it
energy,
can put the energy back in?
Into. I bet it can.
Try it.
Okay, I'm gonna smack a chain.
Dang. Okay. This chain immediately attacks you.
No! That's not the chain. I want to hit the
It
body.
wraps around you.
Oh, crap!
Just hit it again.
I hit it again.
Goes back in.
Okay. So hit the body.
What if the body comes back?
That's the point.
That's what we're trying to do.
Then we're fighting a zombie.
He might not be a zombie.
But then you hit him again. There's too much. That thing is too powerful.
I think hit the
Alright.
body. If we get answers,
I'm so excited.
hit the body.
I draw my
just-
sword, my great sword, the big one, and I stand by while you do
Okay, I'm gonna
this.
hold my quarter
If he comes
staff.
back as a zombie, he's dying first.
I
Okay.
grab,
Oh my-
I grab my crossbow, but
Let's experiment with one of the other zombies before we kill Kona the Frost-Bearded. I'm gonna, like, a random goblin, like, preferably very severed limbs.
That's also interesting.
Very severed lips.
Yeah, not very, maybe not very
Just
severed.
Why
chop,
would we
chop
make
its legs off. Chop
If-
its legs off.
Why are we bringing back goblins?
Because we
Okay,
can also
let's
see.
bring back one of the monks.
Wait. Before, if you bring back a goblin, we can see if there's something up with that sword.
But we know there's something up with the sword.
But we need to see what will happen when the sword encounters a goblin. Right? If it's a cursed sword that has to always kill
But
goblins.
I think the monks were the good guys here. Actually, well, I don't know.
But if we bring back a goblin that has no limbs, and then the sword acts on its own accord and kills the goblin, I don't know, maybe it might just give us more information about that sword that you've got.
Okay, let's test it out. I want to see what this hammer
Okay,
does.
I'm gonna find the smallest, wimpiest looking goblin.
Can't we
Okay,
chop the
good.
legs off
It's
first?
dead.
All right. What are your criteria for this dead body that you're looking for?
Like, as wimpy looking, like,
Okay.
easy to
Intact.
intact, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So. All
This
right.
feels like- I shake my head. This is very.
I'm not very
Very
keen. I'm not very.
Just the one maybe that
Should we
was at
just
the
try
door.
heal Kona and see what happens?
I think
Let's
just
do
heal
that.
Kona.
Yeah, let's heal Kona.
Oh guys, just go for the goblin. See what's up
Kona.
with the sword.
Deal with-
I mean, it'll be very exciting. What do you want
Yeah.
me to do?
See if the hammer does anything to him.
Okay.
Wait,
And
get your sword ready. Get your sword ready.
In 2, 3. Boom.
The power rushes from the hammer. The hammer glows incredibly light, powerful, and into the body of Kona. All his limbs flame.
Wait, are we doing Kona or a goblin?
Kona.
Kona, we're in
Kona.
there now.
Yeah.
Yep, we
You're
go.
done and
You did it.
He spasms, his limbs thing, and he breathes in and screams, "Largo!" Before we cut back to Glenda, hit that like button. Go on. You know you want to. No, I am a woman. And you look up and you can see actually the hardened lines of her. Like, she is tough. She has been in so many fights. Her nose has been broken at some point. She's got severe cheekbones and really buff stature. This is someone who trains hard all their life, and they look like they're about maybe 30. In human
Hardened
years.
30.
A hardened 30, a tough 30. And she says, "Before I send you into the abyss."
Sorry, I had like blood and sweat in my eyes. It was so blurry. You look like an elderly man.
An elderly man, no. "Before I send you into the abyss, who sent you here?"
Nobody sent me here. I'm here looking for my father. How did I make it into here? Where are my friends? Who are you?
I'll take care of your friends one at a time after I am done with you. I am Upsha of the Eternal Vigil, and I am Guardian of the Hidden Temple. And you will now die. And she raises her fist.
I'm also an Upsha.
What?
My father was an Upsha. He was a monk. I'm here looking for him. I've just come from the depths of the ocean by the Arakroka village. They told me that my father dropped me off, came out of the sea carrying me, and his name was Upsha, and he was a monk, and I'm here looking for him, and I've been training my hardest to become a monk like him, and I too am an Upsha.
And she kind of just pure shock on her face. And she kind of stumbles back and whoa, almost falls. And then you suddenly
scramble
feel
up?
you are on a flat surface as she kind of tumbles, rolls, and stands up. You are so old.
Excuse me?
How long since Since the monk in the water.
70 years.
70 years. 70 years I've been waiting. It was not your father who was in the water, it was me. I am your mother. I am your mother, Apsha.
What? So,
You are my daughter.
what? Is there no... So there's no father?
And her face kind of like, you see expressions go over her face. Roll insight.
14.
14. At first, like a look of sadness, and then deep, deep hurt before her face closes over, and she's like, "No, there's no father."
So who dropped me off on the beach?
It was me. And she, Pierre, come. And she takes your hand and turns around, and in the empty space, suddenly there is a small, low table with steaming tea, on it. And she ushers you to sit as she crosses her legs and sits on the other side of the table. And she pours you green tea into a small ceramic cup, and same for herself. And she's like,
Why did you abandon me?
I did not abandon you. I kept you here with me for... It must have been hundreds of years. But the magic of the temple means that we do not age, and we are preserved. You were a newborn baby for so long. I was denying you true life if I kept you here with me. So, for the first time, I broke my vows of the eternal vigil. And I set you into the world to have a life. I thought maybe one day you would come back. I did not think it would be 70 years.
I just thought I was a dwarf for so long. How did I end up with the dwarfs?
I was searching for a community that could take you in, who I could trust, but also who would be far enough away that you would not be found by people who would come looking for the temple. So I took you to the island, and I found an orphanage and people who would be willing to take you. I thought you would live a good life there. Was your life good?
Wasn't bad. Pretty boring.
Boring is good. Boring is good sometimes.
But I must say that I've only felt like I've been truly living this last year since I discovered that I'm in fact human, and since I've gotten this needle, and I've been learning so hard to become a monk and realizing that I'm good at it and trying to find my father. They said my father dropped me off. Why does everyone confuse you for a man at first?
They're birds. And the shaved head.
Oh, I mean,
The strong attitude, wearing pants, And she's got, you see, like zero body fat. She's got like very strong, like swimmer's physique. You can see how someone who maybe is like a little bit like uncharitable, seeing the bald head and the tough attitude.
Yeah, I mean, my dwarf parents also assured me I'm looking for a father.
Other races, they don't really understand necessarily humans. Dwarves, if it doesn't have a beard, they're like, hey. And the birds, they don't have a beak, they're like, ee. It doesn't help that, the whole race is called men, the race of men. What is that, It's like, we're the exception. What's up with that?
It's true.
Yes.
I've been body shaped my whole life growing up in the dwarf community.
You have only been training for a year?
I mean, I've been doing Pilates my whole life. I've always liked to keep in shape, and I've always been taunted for being so weak. So I wanted to show them that, maybe agility is also a form of strength.
Your key flow is it has so much potential, and she like reaches over and she like presses a thumb to the center of your forehead.
Mother's touch.
And you can just feel something like opening up inside you, and you can feel like energy flowing in a way that you haven't before. It's like, yes, you have so much potential. I could teach you. You want to train now?
Yes, please, Mommy.
And the space kind of like ripples and shifts into this dojo with a woven mat floor, wood panels all around, and a rack of weapons. And she points you towards the rack of weapons, and is like, well, "Would you like to try with something?"
Yes, please.
The needle is nice, but it is not truly a weapon for fighting. There's a long wooden staff. There's a tri-staff, which is 3 interlinked things. There's nunchucks. There are matching blades of all kinds.
Is there a trident?
There is a trident. Yes.
I'd like a trident, please.
All right. She passes you the trident, and she takes the triple staff, and she's like, "All right, let's begin." And so for probably what feels like an hour of hard training, Upsha and you spar. She first gives you a little bit of drills, then she pushes you, and you already feel like, you're a little bit better on your feet. You can anticipate movements a little bit better. She shows you a couple of footwork things and corrects you where your posture had been too flow and Pilates and needed to be a little tougher. She is a much tougher fighter. And she says, "No, but you have, I see, fallen into the path of what we call the drunken master, and this is the path of flow. I am the path of the fist. But there is a manual in my chamber that you could study to continue to learn." What?
I'm just awestruck.
And she wipes her sweat away, and you're both very tired, and she sits
Do you
down.
think that's
and
air
has
you're
another tea.
breathing?
The what?
Do you think that's air you're breathing?
I mean, no, I guess it is not. I am breathing, no. It's good.
I love being in a dojo.
And she pours tea for you as well, and you sip, and she sips, and she's like, "Why did you come just to find me?"
I felt that I needed purpose in my life. I can't explain it, but from the second I discovered that I was not a dwarf, and everything that I'd been viewed my whole life as a weakness could actually potentially be a strength, and that there was more to this. I had no real goal outside of finding you, and now that I found you, I don't know. I feel like this isn't the end of my journey, but I don't really know where I'm meant to go now. I want to be a monk. I want to be as good a monk as you. I want to learn about you. I want to know where I came from. I mean, I couldn't have come out of a vacuum. You had to have conceived me somewhere. Do I come from a lineage of monks? What do we do? What do us monks do? I want to know.
Well, not exactly a lineage of monks. The Vigil of the Eternal Order has taken in orphans and such all their life, and we swear to serve the Eternal Vigil, to guard the 5 hidden temples with our lives.
Why?
There are people who would use the powers of the temples for evil, for selfish reasons. And
legacy.
Whose legacy?
He's part of my band of companions, so please don't hurt them now. That they're good people. It's just legacy has been thinking of using the Book of Binding and Breaking for other purposes, And I've been doubting his goodness. I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He's good. They're all good. Please don't hurt them.
Well, currently they are all trapped in the mind trap that I created. We are all within it now. After I returned, I spent a lot of time trying to understand how I, as one monk, could defend the Unbreakable Armory, and I used some techniques that are not really condoned. They are not good. They are currently you are all trapped inside my soul's dream.
Your soul's stream?
My soul's dream. I used the power of my soul to create a trap so that anyone entering would face me. My intention was that I would capture them in memories of their own nightmares, projections, and then I would fight them one by one, taking them down. I have a great deal of power here. You tried to escape, and I summoned a chasm, in order to kill you. I am sorry about that, by the way. I'm very sorry.
I'm very injured, actually, but I'm fine.
It's all right. Drink this tea. It will help reinvigorate you. And you do indeed feel like the damage and such evaporating, and you feel your ki being renewed, as though you had a short rest.
Great, I feel a lot better, thank you.
No, it's so. Don't thank me. I mean, I am the one who kicked your ass.
You're just doing your job, Mommy.
I like that. That's a nice word. That's a nice word, Mommy.
Mommy.
I do not know of this book of binding and breaking, but I am alone here in the temple, because before you were born, it was invaded by goblins and a very evil man, and they killed everyone. I, at that time, was locked in my chamber. I managed to escape only when the battle was over. Little while, some months perhaps, and then you were born. And I continued to clean up, prepare this place, recover the bodies that I could, but a great evil was done here. Great evil. And the soul trap, the dream trap, took my life. I only exist now here as a trap. If I were to, when I release you and your friends, I will die.
What? No.
Yes.
But no, I just met you. I just found you. I'm not leaving.
We have time. I can make this moment last longer. We can spend some time together. And he sips her tea.
Can I just ask some questions about your story, though? Sorry to, if it's
yes,
to not to break this moment.
Please let us walk. And the dream ripples again, and you kind of see this beautiful island, cherry blossoms floating in the breeze from the orchards, and birds flitting around, and a sun just sinking towards the horizon, and it's quite beautiful inside. This was the day I dropped you off, and you can see, in the distance, this is is your island. This is the dwarf.
There's the valley of that Megan and Plamblock consummated their love in front of the village. This is home.
Would like a marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
We had an outdoor wedding.
Okay. Just when you said consummated in front of people, I was like, okay. Wow. Wild.
Yeah, no, we're dwarves. We're not wild. We're very respectable. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I'm not a dwarf. I'm a monk.
Yes. And you walk for a couple of hours and just talk about various things before your mind kind of returns to the topic that you wanted to question her about.
How was the evil if you were locked in your chamber? Who destroyed the evil man? Who were the other companions here guarding the Unbreakable Armory?
Well, there was Kona that I spearheaded. He is the master of the armory. I saw his body, but I was unable to give him a proper burial, as his body was guarded by some kind of mechanical golems that I could not defeat. I was unable to give a proper burial for anyone in the forge chamber. Besides that, there were the other monks of the eternal vigil. Besides that, there were some other monks of the eternal vigil who defended the Unbreakable Armory against the goblins and him. I was locked away because I had broken my vows as a monk. I had fallen in love with someone, and you were the result.
And my father is the evil man?
His name is Yegoriel. And he did not seem evil to me at first.
In what way was he evil?
He wanted power. He wanted to know everything. He wanted power over everything. It was him who taught me the soul magic of dreams that allowed me to make this trap.
So does that mean that here in the dream you exist, but outside of this dream I am actually in the Unbreakable Armory, and around me are these mechanical golems, potentially my father and all the bodies of the Order?
No. The dream is sort of a spiritual soul realm that goes through everything. Yegoriel learnt a way of cutting souls from the dream and from their bodies and moving them from place to place and using them as fuel, as weaponry, to manipulate and control people. That's what he did to the goblins, turning them into his creatures that would serve him unquestioningly in any act of cruelty that he could imagine. I think that it was his own magic working on him that made him narcissistic, cruel. I mean, he always could be. There was always a dark side to him, but, I found it appealing when he turned that attention onto me. I did not realize that I was being manipulated. I am such a fool.
You're not a fool. I too have been seduced by the charms of a lesser man, dare I say it. Sometimes your ego just needs to feel like you are viewed and loved.
Yes.
So where's Yegoriel now?
I did not see his body in the Unbreakable Armory. My only conclusion is that he must either his body was completely destroyed or he fled. When I discovered that the Unbreakable Armory was underwater, which was quite a surprise, I will tell you that. That was unexpected. I was not prepared with a small baby to be swimming. Luckily, I was saved by that young Arakroka. I wonder how she's doing.
She's well. I saw her. She's very old.
She must be like 90 or something now. That's a very
She's
old.
looking very good for her age, but
Okay, good.
she
good.
is elderly.
Yeah, you.
And remembers you fondly.
Oh,
As a man, unfortunately, but fondly nonetheless.
this happens. Yeah. When I discovered that, I could only assume that he used his magic to bury the temple. Breaking the island in half is some kind of act of revenge, of pettiness. I do not know what became of him. There was no rumors among any of the peoples of the island, and it seemed to me that many years had passed since that invasion. It is difficult to track time in the temples. It is easy to lose track.
So after you dropped me off, you came back here and created the soul dream trap.
Yes.
Why did you have to do that? Why couldn't you defend it on your own? Why, if you knew I would come back, why didn't you wait for me?
I thought I would know you when I saw the soul, and we could have this time together. But I did also know that I could not defend it as one person. I needed to be more powerful and cunning than that. I am just one woman. I am hella strong, but I am not undefeatable.
This is so sad. I don't ever want to leave you.
And I do not want to leave you either, when I have just found you. But look, the sun is setting. Let us enjoy it. And she sits down and
I nuzzled myself.
she puts her arm around you, and the sun slowly dips, and the light kind of dims on the world. And just as kind of the darkness wells up all around you, she says, "You will find some things of mine in my room. Remember me." And then the darkness completes. Then you open your eyes in a small chamber. Not a big entry hall or something, just a small room, a washstand on one side, a flat bed, and on that bed is in repose the body of Apsha, looking just as though she had looked in the dream. A light coating of dust over her, but otherwise preserved perfectly. As you look around her room, you find several manuals of different techniques, including the manual of drunken technique, and you find a bowl of silvery yarn.
Is it magical? I guess I can't.
As you can kind of feel it, it doesn't feel too soft as yarn. It's flexible, like flexible metal, but not wire, woven in some ways. And because you have, worked closely with miners, and you are a member of the Textiles and Manufacturers Guild, you recognize that this is a very special metal called mithril that has been woven into a thread. And there's probably enough thread there, enough yarn there, that you could weave a scarf, which would give you some protection, or perhaps hand gloves that would allow you to punch a little bit harder. It would be very handy as something that you could do next time when you're thinking
Clearly.
of Apsha.
Does this mean, I touch her, check for a pulse.
And her body is completely room temperature.
So she must still be in the soul dream with my friends. So she's not yet died. What else is in the room?
So actually, as you look at the bed, you see that there are a bunch of magical runes around that their light is just fading away and they're beginning to crumble.
I guess I'm just gonna stand here and weep.
And as you stand there and weep, in the distance you hear voices, and that's where we're going to end your session.
Not me.
And back to the forge.
I use lay on hands.
And he...
Lay on hands.
Oof, you lay on hands, his wounds
5
knit
points.
together.
That's enough to
there's
save
not
him,
enough.
at least.
He's obviously grievously wounded, in great pain. He's panting.
Okay, and next action is a heal, I guess.
I can rub some balm of the summer or the moonshade.
I have another healing spot.
Oh, okay.
I dropped my disguised self that I had on of him. Are you okay? I say in Dwarvish.
Egoriel,
Ergoriel.
where is... The battle is over.
Yes.
What? A while ago.
We can't. Can you
what?
understand them? Oh, you speak loads of languages.
How
speaking in
long
English.
has it been?
We are adventurers who step through a portal.
And throws up some blood.
I cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh my. Can we?
Rolled an 8. 8 plus 2, 10.
You have the hammer.
Yes.
Then all is not lost. Then we won.
Wow. We don't really know who you're fighting. What happened is this. We are
Help me
adventurers.
up. Help me up.
Get up.
Okay.
Yeah, and he like staggers kind of to his feet. He's obviously still injured. Like his wounds have run deeper than any of your healing can help. But he seems still alive. You've knitted.
Stable, at least,
They're no longer fatal. And he stands looking at it like,
All seemed lost. All seemed lost. And I thought Egoriel would take the hammer.
Who is that?
I put my soul into anything that would take it in the room.
That was you. We had a
So
tough
we've
time getting
absorbed
through
your soul back into the hammer and then put it back into you.
Yes, it was my last maneuver against him. He was wounded grievously, but I was dying.
them. Who was a Goriel?
The monks were all dead. And he like looks and he goes, Oh, Yasbin, Gorath, all dead. All dead.
When was this battle?
his hands caked with dust. He's like,
I don't know.
I tell him the year.
That means nothing to me. The year doesn't even... It's not even our calendar. It's not possible.
The Unbreakable Armory was lost to the knowledge of most people for a long, long time.
You're underwater, sir. This whole place is caved into under the sea. There's crabs above us.
Unbelievable.
Maybe we should start from the beginning.
Then perhaps, at least, we're safe. Quickly, we must find Egoriel's body.
Who is Ergoriel?
Who's Egoriel? Why
My
was
apprentice, the apprentice of all the five. He learned all our arts from us, but then betrayed us. Egoriel, soul weaver, thief of souls, betrayer.
and you see him begin shaking with rage.
He led the goblins here. He took from them, he forged them into creatures of evil, taking their souls from them, leaving nothing but servile, evil, selfish beings behind.
See, told you.
His warriors. He wished to take it all for himself, the knowledge of all the 5 temples. And we fought him here in a great battle.
2 of our friends seem to be trapped in the dream. I'm not sure. When we entered here, we all went to quite a traumatic dream space.
When we jumped through the portal.
When we jumped through the portal.
Was that normal?
No. It must have been some kind of defense. Perhaps that means that all is not lost, that there might be a survivor here. Did you find anyone?
No.
Not to date.
We found a lot of heads.
There's a lot of heads.
Yeah, lots of heads.
Goblins. Somebody must have put those goblin heads up though, as a decor.
We must find the survivor. Someone, one of the Order of the Eternal Vigil, must have survived.
Did you manufacture the sword?
Is that the Sword of Vengeance?
Yes.
No, this was one of my... Definitely the work of one of my acolytes, but not Yogoriel. No, I do not recognize it.
On a point of order, is there a Sword of Vengeance and a different sword, or is there
And
just
there's a
one sword?
+1 longsword. Yeah.
So there's a regular +1 longsword.
Mm-hmm. And then like the
Sword of
two
Vengeance.
swords. Your detect magic, which still kind of has a bit of residual flowing because it's 10 minutes. The armor and the two other swords still do glow.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So there are two
Okay.
swords in place.
And the
I'm
chains
confused.
also glow.
Where would a survivor, if there was a survivor?
The dormitories. We didn't go that way.
The dormitories.
Yes,
The dormitories.
we must go. We must see if they are there. Perhaps someone can tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know Loesti the Wise?
Of course I know that fool, that arrogant fool. He is my brother. In knowledge and wisdom. Also an ass, but one of the 5 masters.
Can't say you're wrong.
We
there.
were just there in the Infinite Library.
We've got
We've got the Book of Binding and Breaking.
yeah.
Well, we don't.
We don't.
It's in the dream space.
You have your Goriel's work.
He was the one that made the book, which makes sense now.
Yes.
Do you know?
I learnt the careful art of creating things with soul. I thought to make things of wonder and beauty. I'll admit that also the challenge of it, if it could be done. But I realized that it was cursed work. Yogoriel did not think so, and he used the arts that I had created of soul binding and weaving to create servants, to create pacts. In the battle, he hurt me terribly. The only thing I could think to do was take my soul and bind it to the objects as a last stand to defend the forge. It must have been enough. He was wounded as mortally as I, and he must have fled. Unless we can find his body or his head.
Well, we'll search this room. We've looked through the bodies.
What does he look like?
A human, with a face twisted with selfishness.
Whoa,
We
whoa.
must find him.
Iggy,
What? No, that's the guy.
thanks. Kind of.
He coughs up some more blood.
Do you need
But
a...
first, we must rest.
Okay.
I see you all injured. We must all rest.
Mr. Koner. Do you know Sue Goldcliff?
No, that name means nothing to me. And with that, we are going to cut to our other adventurers.
And you look around the room, everyone laughing at you, but their laughter hollow now as you kind of see through them. They seem insubstantial, because you know they aren't real. But one figure, with his arms crossed, sitting at the back, not laughing, looking at you, nodding.
You there. What is your name?
You know they laughed at me as well.
So you know this place?
Not this place specifically, but I know what it is to seek knowledge and to have radical ideas and to have them rejected. And he stands and he walks down to you. What are you searching for?
Knowledge. I'm searching for answers.
What is the question?
the greatest questions of all. Why are we here? What causes the great storm that throws our lives into chaos periodically?
These are big questions. I myself come from outside the storm. Yes, yeah. I sought wisdom and knowledge from the greatest teachers of my world, and little did I know that at the crucial time, we would be drawn here into this prison.
Prison?
The storm. It is a prison. You understand that, right? We can't.
Of sorts.
Of sorts. We can't escape it. Creatures from all different worlds are drawn here, trapped here. There can be no greater question than how to escape a prison, right?
Of course. Have you found the answer to such a question?
I am searching. And I think I have found most of the puzzle pieces. Can you imagine the glory of being able to free everyone trapped here? Free them from the chain of the storm, of the small destiny of being trapped here. Fighting for your life, fighting against being drawn into the crush, destroyed eventually. Being able to leave a legacy, leave something behind for the future.
Brother, you seem like a fellow scholar and someone whose cause I would greatly love to aid one day. Might I ask you though, how did you come to be here?
Well, you brought me here.
I brought you here?
Oh yes, I came here with you. But I have been here before, and I see that she has learnt new tricks.
You speak in riddles, brother. Whomst is this she?
Oh, a woman I loved once. Yes.
She has imprisoned me here?
Yes, and me as well, although I did not realize I was to be brought here. And to be honest with you, roll an insight check.
Ooh, 12.
12.
That's your insight.
Oh, yes, of course. Which is...
Should be 5 or something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, what am I gonna find? Oh, 5, yes.
Yeah, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Oh,
yeah.
No, that would be a dirty 17.
Dirty 17. Very dirty 17. Yes, so with that, you can see that there is something that he's not quite telling you. Yes, being brought here was very unexpected. I haven't been here for a very long time. I didn't know that she would have such tricks.
Use plain words, brother. You seem to be hiding things from me. Secrets.
You are very astute. You are indeed very astute. I am not completely here. I am near enough. And I see that the pawns that I had put a place upon the chessboard have discovered what I wanted them to. And pieces that I did not even know were in play have uncovered things. Quite remarkable things, really. I hope that you and I will get to meet again face to face.
Can I attempt to use suggestion on him?
You may.
Okay, I would like to do that.
What is the suggestion you would like to do?
Can I suggest that he tells me how to get out of here?
How would you phrase it? You gotta give it to me in one sentence.
Okay, cool. Tell me how to get out of here.
You're trying to use your magic on me, but you'll find I'm quite resistant. However, I will tell you how to get out of here. In fact, I don't even think we will have to do much before we're freed, if I'm feeling this out right. I can't believe that she would try to trap me with my own tricks.
Do I know this she?
I'm sure you'll meet her shortly. She is named Upsha, She is a monk. She is really quite striking.
Fit, you mean?
Beautiful. Fit, powerful. Yes. If she had joined my side, things may have turned out differently. Unfortunately, she did not.
Well, fit or not, if she attempts to imprison me, I will have to deal with her with my legendary sacred flame. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Oh. Sounds very impressive.
It is.
Perhaps you and I can help each other. I have a lot of knowledge. I know a great many things, and I could aid you on your journey.
I too have a lot of knowledge, but I could always do with a little bit more. If you turned out not to be a duplicitous bastard, then perhaps we can help each other out.
All right, then.
Still, since there's much you are not telling me.
Well, then, I don't usually offer this deal. Knowledge for a favor. At some point, I will ask you to do something for me. In the meanwhile, any question you have, write it down in the book. And he points over to the lectern, and you turn and look, and you see, instead of being the nondescript book of your dissertation, it is the book of binding and breaking. And he says, write it in the book.
The evil book of binding and breaking that I'm pretty sure we covered that it was evil at some point.
Evil?
It's pretty evil.
According to whom?
Everybody has one to.
People who don't like knowledge might call it evil. People like Thrastock, with his narrow mind and his careful set of beliefs.
Smiting ways.
Other people might look at it as simply as knowledge. Anything you want to know, write it in the book, and I will answer as best I can.
You will answer through the book?
Yes.
Interesting.
Very.
You're a wise and mysterious man, scholar.
Indeed I am. I take that as a compliment.
It was more of just a neutral statement, but okay. Thank you.
Roll a wisdom save. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Oh,
all right.
Too late. Was I roll again?
Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to use your last number. All right.
I'm going to move it. I don't know where it is. Okay, there it is.
Interesting, he says. And you feel that some magic that was being woven has snapped. Huh. Interesting. I see that perhaps our time here is growing even shorter. Anyway, there is the exit, and he gestures and to the side. You see that there's a door on the stage that's kind of glowing with light. You can't see through it, it's just a wall of whiteness.
Did that door just appear there now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You seem to have powers beyond that which you wish to disclose with me. I shall not press the issue, though. Thank you, wise scholar.
Well, whatever you need, and I'll be listening. And he fades away to nothing.
I go to that little stand, take the book of binding and breaking. I open it, it's empty inside, I presume. I write a question. What is your name?
And after a moment, the ink flows, and rising, the letters come up. Yagoriel.
Yagoriel. How do I exit this place?
Through the door.
Thank you, mysterious scholar. I close the book. I go to the door, prepare myself for what's on the other side, and I open it and go through.
You step through into a cold stone hall, dusty, damaged, an anteroom, and you hear, distantly echoing, the sounds of voices that you recognize. your friends nearby. And that's where we will end your session.
All right.
That's all for this episode of Legends of Storm's Eye. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you especially to Special Effects Media and Zootee Studios and the National Arts Council of South Africa for making this all possible. See you next time.
Do you each have a question, please?
How is Miko connected to my past?
Where is Makhanda and Glenda right now?
What are we gonna do when we find Ugoriel?
How can we rescue Moontree?
Oh yeah, I should have asked that question. Moontree, I hope you're okay.
About that.
Mootree's eight. Mootree's eight.
Indeed. Whatever happened to Moontree yet? Is he okay?
This is so exciting.